Shri Sairam. Hello dear students. Hope you are healthy and safe. So today we are going to read and understand the lesson, A Birthday Letter.
This is my breakfast. What is your breakfast, my friend? Mama, what is there for breakfast? Good morning, my child. Come, I will feed you myself. Oh, so much of homework. Siri, can you help me with this? Sorry, my friend. I do not know how to help you with that. Mama, so much of homework. Hey, don't worry at all. I will help you. This is nothing. You can easily do it. I got hurt. You have to take a band-aid and apply it on the wound. Oh, my child, don't worry. I will clean up the wound. It will heal in no time.
Okay, so what we just heard and saw is the difference between a mother and Siri the robo. So whereas robo is a very mechanical, mother has a very human and personal touch. So the mother has a very human and personal touch. When the child wants to eat something, when he asks what is for breakfast, so the mother lovingly tells him what is for breakfast, and she even readily wants to feed him. But whereas it's in the case of the robo, it's not like that. He just says very mechanically that this is your breakfast, go and take it. And when the child is hurt, the mother takes so much of care and puts the bandage for him. Whereas the robo will just tell the child, go and take the bandage. So it's a very mechanical touch. So let's say it is your best buddy's birthday. What would you do? Would you buy him a card or make a card with your own hands? Would you prefer to buy him a gift or make a craft and gift him that? And let's say your parents do know him and treat him as his own son. What do you think would make him more happy? A costly gift from your parents or a letter written by them to him, blessing him in abundance and expressing their love for him. So, what do we mean? See, it is only that we are asking. Suppose it is your best friend's birthday. What will you do? Will you make a card? Will you buy him a card? Or will you prefer to make that card at home with your own hands? When you make with your own hands, definitely you feel a lot more joy, a lot more satisfaction. Or will you feel that you want to buy him a gift, or do you want to make something for him at home and you want to gift him that? And suppose your parents also know your best friend and treat your best friend as their own son. So what will be important to your friend? Will a costly gift from your parents make him happy? Or will a letter that your parents have written to him, blessing him, will that be more happy? Definitely the letter means a lot more to your friend. And your handmade card will make your friend more happy. So this session is about one such letter that a great father wrote to his daughter on her birthday, giving her valuable lessons for life. So this great father is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and his daughter is Indira Gandhi on her 13th birthday. Let's get started. So what are the objectives? Let's take a look at the objectives. After completing this lesson, you will be able to recognize the value of a letter as a powerful means of communication, analyze the contributions of our leaders. So by reading this letter, we recognize that the letter is a really powerful means to put our point across, and also we can also analyze what the great leaders of our country have given to our country. Let's move on. Infer the qualities exhibited by these leaders, which means we will take a look at what are the qualities of our great leaders. So, the qualities which we see in this lesson are definitely sacrifice, helping and inspiring people, and also being calm and very, very honest and truthful. Negotiate a difficult situation and communicate effectively. What do we mean? See, when we read this letter, we can realize how to handle a difficult situation, is it not? So, how do we handle a difficult situation? By being calm, by being focused, by being very clear, and also by staying positive, we can handle any difficult situation. Identify and write imperative sentences. So, by reading this lesson, you will be able to write imperative sentences. And imperative sentences are only mainly command sentences. It may be a direct command or it might be indirect request also, where you usually don't see the person directly. And we learn to construct WH questions. WH questions are like who, what, where, and whom. So who is in this letter? It is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. To whom is he writing? He is writing a letter to his daughter Indira. And where? When he is in prison, when he is in jail, he is writing this letter to her. And also write an informal letter. So what is an informal letter? Informal letter is the same thing like what Pandit Nehru is writing to his daughter Indira. And also informal letter is definitely one which you write to your parents, to your brother or to your friends. These are informal letters. Okay, so now students, let us read the text. In 1930, India was not free. Many of our leaders were imprisoned by the British. While in Naini prison, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wrote this letter to his daughter Indira on her 13th birthday. Let's find out what he wrote to her. My dear Indira, on your birthday, you have been in the habit of receiving presents and good wishes. Good wishes you will still have in full measure. But what present can I send you from Naini prison? My presents cannot be very material or solid. They can be of the mind and spirit, things that even the high walls of prison cannot stop. So, here we read that in 1930, India was not yet free, and also many of our leaders were in the jail, including Pandit Nehru. So, when he was in Naini prison, he wrote this letter to his daughter Indira on her 13th birthday. So, let's see what he wrote to her. He says, my dear Indira, on your birthday, he's telling her that on her birthday, every time he either gives her a present or a gift and always his good wishes. But this time, what will he give her? Because he's in jail, so he cannot give her a gift. He cannot give her a present. So he says that my good wishes will always be with you, right? Because the parents' good wishes are always there with the children. And similarly, his good wishes are always there with his daughter Indira. But what present can I send you from Naini prison? So he is asking her children from the letter, what can I send you from the jail? So he says that my presents cannot be material or solid because he can't send something like that from the jail. So he is writing to her a letter, and it is a lot of bold and brave thoughts. A lot of bold and brave thoughts he is sending her from prison, and very good advice also. So he says that these positive thoughts cannot be stopped. Even the high walls of the jail cannot stop good and high positive thoughts. So let's see what are some of the best gifts we can give or receive. Blessings, flowers, saplings, handmade cards, right? Okay, so these are some of the best gifts we can give somebody or we can get from somebody. So the first gift that we are going to discuss is blessings, right? So blessings can be from elders, can be from God, can be from a teacher, can be from your guru, and they are definitely very, very important. They have a lot of value because they contain the person's love and good wishes. So it is indeed a beautiful gift. A blessing is a beautiful gift which you can get or which you can give others. So saplings. What are saplings? Saplings are small young trees with very small and thin trunks. When you receive a sapling, what will you do? You will plant them, and as they will grow into beautiful trees. And we know we have a lot of uses, a lot of benefits from the tree. And how do trees help us? They give us oxygen, they improve the quality of air, and they give us main importantly fruits and vegetables, right? So saplings is also very interesting and very helpful gift. And flowers, who does not love flowers? All of us love flowers, right? Because they give us such a good smell. When we look at them, when we look at the different colors of flowers, we are so happy. We feel very a lot fresh. We feel very bright when we look at flowers. And handmade cards. So handmade cards. What do we refer to handmade card? When you make a card by yourself, do you not feel joy? Do you not feel happiness? You feel satisfied, right? That you're doing a good job. And also when you're going to give the card to somebody, you're very excited to make it. And you have to think, right? You have to think and put in a lot of effort. And when your friend receives your handmade card, they are very excited to see what you have done, what you have written. So it's a very interesting. And also what else? Yes, it is very interesting and also very thoughtful gift. Let's move on. So we'll continue with the letter now, which Pandit Nehru wrote. You know, sweetheart, how I dislike sermonizing and doling out good advice. I have always thought that the best way to find out what is right and what is not right, what should be done and what should not be done, is not by giving a sermon, but by talking and discussing. And out of discussion, sometimes a little bit of truth comes out. I have liked my talks with you, and we have discussed how many things, but the world is wide, and beyond our world lie other wonderful and mysterious worlds. None of us need ever be bored or imagine that we have learned everything worth learning and become very wise. So what is Pandit Nehru telling here? He says that he does not like to give any lectures or to give out. Doling means give, and sermonizing means lectures. So sermonizing means lectures. So Pandit Nehru does not like to give lectures, or he does not like to give also advice. He always feels that the best way is to talk and discuss matters, and that's what he's telling his daughter in this letter. And he's saying, by talking and discussing, we can decide what is right and what is not right, what should be done. So by talking and discussing, we can find out what is right, what should be done in the correct way. And so by giving a lecture, by giving advice, we can't do all that. And also sometimes when we have a talk, when we discuss things, the truth will come out, right? Okay, so I have liked my talks with you, and we have discussed many things. So he says that he has liked the talks with his daughter Indra, and he's enjoyed talking to her. And also they have discussed, means father and daughter have discussed many important things. But this world is very big, and beyond our world lie so many worlds. Means so many mysterious, many strange things are there, strange thoughts are there, right? So he says, none of us should be bored or imagine. We should not be bored that we have learned everything worth learning and become very wise. So at any point of time, we should not think we know everything. There's lots to learn and become wise. Can you guess what is graphology? So pen points to character, none can conceal. Pen strokes that tell us as truly as steel. Your character in your pen. Handwriting secrets. Some application of graphology are interviews, crime, compatibility between partners, life or business, etc. So, graphology, what do we mean by graphology? So, graphology is a study of handwriting to know one's character, personality, attitudes, habits, etc. So, in fact, it's a very interesting science, it's a very interesting art. Can you just imagine when the handwriting expert reads your handwriting, they can even tell you whether you're brave, whether you can draw well, whether you're good at sports, whether you're good at games. Isn't it interesting? From just your handwriting, they can tell you many things about your character and also your character in your pen. So, from the handwriting, your character can be told by the way you write with your pen. That's what it is all about. So, graphology, where is it used? Graphology is used in interviews, in crime, criminal investigations, forensic, and also it is also used when to find out whether two people will be compatible, whether they can adjust with each other. Same it goes for businesses also. So sometimes when the business partners are there, so they will use graphology to see whether the business partners can get along or not. Now we'll come back to the letter. But what am I to do then? A letter can hardly take the place of a talk. At best, it is a one-sided affair. Imagine that I have made a suggestion to you for you to think over as if we were really having a talk. In history, we read of great periods in the life of nations, of great men and women. Do you remember how fascinated you were when you first read the story of Jeanne d'Arc? We actually pronounce it as Joan of Arc, and how your ambition was to be something like her. Ordinary men and women are not usually heroic. They think of their bread and butter, of their children, of their household worries and the like. So what is Pandit Nehru telling here? He's saying, what should we do then? A letter can hardly take the place of a talk. So he's saying in a letter it is only one-sided, right? He can write the letter, but his daughter Indra cannot reply. So it is only one-sided. So imagine that I've made a suggestion to you for you to think over. So he's telling her that you imagine that you and me are talking, right? So he's telling her, you imagine that you and me are having a talk. And he's saying, in history, in the life of many countries, in the life of India, there are many great men and women. So he's telling her that when she was small, when she was younger, Indra used to read stories. And one such story she had read about Joan of Arc. So who is Joan of Arc? Okay, so Joan of Arc is actually from France. She is from a country called France. She was actually belonging to an agricultural laborer's family. So she was almost like a farmer. But she felt that she was guided by a very higher power. And what did she do? She led the French army to victory. So she was a very she was a very great woman of great character, and she led the French army to victory. So when Indira Gandhi read about her, she was inspired by her and she wanted to become like Joan of Arc. Okay, and then next we go on to ordinary men and women are not usually heroic. So what does he mean? Ordinary men and women are usually ordinary is what he's saying. But because why are they ordinary? Because they have to think how to earn their daily bread and butter, how to earn their livelihood. So they are having lots to do and they have to look after their homes, they have to look after their children, and so many other problems come in ordinary people's lives, right? So they have so much to do. So naturally they will be ordinary because they have so many things to do at home. But a time comes when a whole people become interested in a great cause. Then history helps even simple ordinary men and women to become heroes. Great leaders have something in them which inspires a whole people and makes them do great deeds. In India, a great leader full of love for all who suffer and eager to help them has inspired our people to great actions and noble sacrifice. He has helped them to make the starving, the poor, and the oppressed free and happy. So Bapuji is in prison, but the magic of his message has stolen the hearts of India's millions. So now in this paragraph, what is Pandit Nehru trying to tell us? He is talking about Bapuji. Who is Bapuji? Bapuji is none other than the father of our nation. He is Mahatma Gandhi ji. So Mahatma Gandhi ji is referred to as Bapuji, and he is telling that Mahatma Gandhi ji is in jail. Prison means jail. So, but the magic of his message has stolen the hearts of India's millions of people. What does he mean? What is the magic of Bapuji's message? The magic is he has helped many people, right? By how? By showing them the right way, showing them the right path. He has inspired them to fight for the country. So fighting for the country is indeed a great cause, right? So even he has inspired these ordinary people to become heroes. Why did the ordinary men and women become heroes? Because Gandhiji inspired them to fight for the country. He inspired them to fight for India. So naturally these ordinary men and women became heroes when they fought for our country. So he says that great leaders have something in them which inspires the people and makes them to great deeds. What do we mean by deeds? We mean actions by deeds. So great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, what do? They help people, they inspire people, right, to come and fight for a great cause like our freedom movement. So in India, a great leader, he is mentioning Mahatma Gandhi ji in here as a great leader. So Gandhi ji had a lot of love for all the people who were suffering, and also to help them he inspired other people to do great actions and also to make a lot of sacrifices. So Gandhiji helped the starving. Starving means poor. So he helped the poor people, starving, hungry people, poor, and the oppressed. So oppressed, what do we mean by oppressed? Oppressed means usually the people when they want to do something good, some higher power, maybe some people in authority who have great positions will try to tell these people in some way or the other, don't do it. Okay, so these people are oppressed. They are not let to do the right thing in the right way. So Gandhiji, by his qualities of peace and non-violence, what did he do? He helped the hungry people, he helped the poor people and the oppressed people. Men and women and even little children come out of their little shells and become India's soldiers of freedom. So Gandhiji, he inspired the men and women, and even he inspired little children to come out of their ordinary shells, and to become India's soldiers. So he inspired them to fight for our India's freedom. Can you guess what kind of sacrifices a soldier does for the country? Yes? Okay. So, a soldier sacrifices his time with the family, right? Because he is mostly training for a war or for a battle or even if he has taken a holiday with the family, suppose the duty calls him, he'll immediately leave his family and go back to training, he'll go back to fight the war, right? Such a big sacrifice they have to give for our country, soldiers. Then when they are fighting the war or the battle, they even forget food and water. Conditions are such that they might not be able to get proper food and water. And when they are fighting the battle, they do not remember food and water. They only remember our country. They remember that they have to fight for our country. That's all they remember. So they're sacrificing food and water, they sacrifice time with the family, and what is the last but most important? They even sacrifice their life. Fighting for our country, they sacrifice their life, not at all bothering what happens to them, what happens to their family. They only fight for the country. That is topmost on their minds. In India today, we are making history, and you and I are fortunate to see this happening before our eyes and to take some part ourselves in this great drama. What parts shall we play in it? If we are to be India's soldiers, we have to respect India's honor, and that honor is a sacred trust. It is no easy matter to decide what is right and what is not. One little test I shall ask you to apply whenever you are in doubt. Never do anything in secret or anything that you would wish to hide. So here Pandit Nehru is telling Indira that in India today we are making history. So why were they making history? Because they were fighting for the freedom of our nation, right? And so he says, you and I are fortunate. Fortunate means lucky. Fortunate means lucky. So he's saying that you and I, my daughter, are lucky that this is happening before our own eyes. And will be very lucky if we take part in this great drama. Which drama is he talking about? He's talking about nothing else but our freedom movement is the great drama there. So he's saying, how can we play a part in it? How can we play a role in this great drama? He's saying, so if we are going to be India's soldiers, we have to respect India, her culture, her heritage. We must respect her India's honor and keep up her pride. And that honor is a sacred trust. Sacred means holy, right? So we must keep up her honor because it is a holy trust, holy faith. Okay? So he's saying it is no easy matter to decide what is right and what is not. So he's trying to say that at this age, at the age when she was, means 13 years, it is not easy for her to decide what is right and what is wrong. So he's saying that I will give you a small test which you can ask yourself. Suppose you're doubtful, suppose you're confused, then you will know where to use that small test and you will know what is the right way. So he's saying never do anything in secret or anything that you wish to hide. So he's saying don't do everything that you can be open about. Don't hide anything which you're going to do, right? So he's saying don't do anything in secret. For the desire to hide anything means that you are afraid, and fear is a bad thing and unworthy of you. Be brave, and all the rest follows. You know that in our great freedom movement under Bapuji's leadership, there is no room for secrecy or hiding. We have nothing to hide. We are not afraid of what we do or what we say. We work in the sun and in the light. Even so, in our private lives, let us make friends with the sun and work in the light and do nothing secretly. And if you do so, my dear, you will grow up a child of the light, unafraid and serene and unruffled, whatever may happen. So, here what is Pandit Nehru telling Indira? He is telling her that whenever we are afraid, when we are scared, then we want to hide things, right? So, and fear, that means when you are scared, isn't it a bad thing? It is a bad thing when you are scared. And it is not worthy of you, means it is not worthy of you to be scared, right? So he's saying be brave, and all the rest follows. Be brave is a imperative sentence. It is like an imperative sentence because it is almost like a command. So it is a imperative sentence, and all the rest follows. So he's saying that under Mahatma Gandhi's leadership in our great freedom movement, there is no room for secrecy or hiding. Why there is no room? Because whatever they are doing is going for the good of the people. They are doing good for the India as a country. So he is saying that we are not afraid, we are not scared of whatever we do or what we are saying, what we talk. We are not afraid of all that. And he is saying we work in the sun and in the light. Why is he saying we work in the sun and in the light? Because the sun is always there for all of us to see. The sun has nothing to hide. The sun is very brave and it always gives all of us a lot of light. So that's why he's saying we work in the sun. That means we are as open as the sun and we are shedding a lot of light to all of the people. So even so in our private lives, let us make friends with the sun. So he's saying make friends with the sun and give a lot of light, or a lot of light like positive thoughts, happiness, okay, and work in the light and do nothing secretly. So he's telling her, don't do anything secretly and don't do anything which you have to hide. Don't be scared, he's saying. You must be sure of what you're doing, of whatever right you're doing, you should be very confident and sure of. So he's saying, if you're not scared and if you do anything without hiding, then you will grow up to be a child of the light. So child of the light means you will be sure of what you're doing, that you're on the right track. That's what he's saying when he means that you're a child of the light. So he's saying when you are a child of the light, you will not be scared of anything that you do and you will be always calm. You will be calm and unruffled. Unruffled means unmoved. So he is saying mainly in this situation, if you are calm, then you will be unmoved. You will be very positive. And finally he is saying, I have written a very long letter to you, and yet there is so much I would like to tell you. How can a letter contain it? Goodbye, little one, and may you grow up into a brave soldier in India's service. With all my love and good wishes, your loving father, Jawaharlal Nehru. So what is he saying here? He is telling his daughter, I have written a very, very long letter and still there is so much to be said. So he's saying there's lots more that I want to tell you. But in one small letter, how much can I tell you? He's saying, right? Just the same way when I'm talking. There's so much more that can be said. But how much can a letter contain? How much can a letter have in it? So he's saying, goodbye, little one. Little one, he means little child. So the child is always little one, because little one means little child, he means. And may you grow up into a brave soldier in India's service. So he means, he is blessing her finally that she grow into a brave soldier in India's service. Indeed, it is a big blessing from a great father to a great daughter, as we know. So he is concluding the letter by giving her all his love and good wishes to his daughter. And he writes in the end, your loving father, Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is a informal letter written by Pandit Nehru to his daughter Indira. Now let us take a look at the glossary meanings. Full measure. What is full measure? Full measure means plenty. What is plenty? Lots of. Maybe we can give an example. So when I tell the apples were kept in full measure on the table, That means plenty, lots of apples were kept on the table. Then we'll go on to sermonizing. What is sermonizing? Sermonizing means giving a lecture, right? What is doling out? Doling out means giving. So that's what Pandit Nehru said, that he does not like giving a lecture, he does not like giving advice. Mysterious. So mysterious. So strange, right? So what is mysterious? It is strange. Means it is a very different kind of a atmosphere. Or mysterious are the ways of the world. What does it mean? There are many different and many strange ways of the world. By trust we mean faith. So by trust we mean faith. Unworthy, not benefiting. So suppose you're doing a very big action, right, of maybe sacrifice. So but nobody values it, right? Nobody gives you the right value for that big action which you've done, big and positive action. So they are unworthy of you. So the people are, we'll say that they are not worthy of you, the people. Fascinated. So fascinated, attracted. What do we mean by fascinated? Suppose I say I am fascinated by those flowers growing in the garden. That means I am attracted to them. I want to go towards them. Not exactly going towards, but you are attracted to those flowers. So when we say that, it means we are fascinated by the flowers. And next we have unruffled. So unmoved. In the lesson, in the end, Pandit Nehru says that we should be unruffled in whatever situation. Means in whatever environment we are, in whatever situation we are facing, we should be unmoved. Means we should not be neither happy nor sad. We should be positive and be calm. By ambition we mean aim. Ambition means aim or goal. Then we come to cause. Cause means reason. So in science you must have heard that for every reason there is a effect, right? Cause and effect situation. So cause means reason. Then we go on to eager. Eager means enthusiastic. So you are eager to make a card. What does that mean? You are enthusiastic. You are excited to make the card. So that is what eager means. Starving. Starving means hungry. So we say, suppose we say the people are starving. So we mean people are hungry. Oppressed, kept down. So what do we mean? So there might be certain sections or certain people who are oppressed. They want to do some good things, but people in power are not letting them do. So they are kept down. They are not allowed to do the right things. Fortunate. We are very fortunate to be a part of India, right? So we are very lucky to be a part of India. We are lucky to be a part of India's citizens. Sacred. By sacred we mean holy. I think that is quite clear. Sacred means holy. And finally we have serene. Serene means calm, right? Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson as much as you did. Thank you so much.